This is the Vatrer 100 amp hour 51.2 volt battery. So instead of just showing you the Vatrer battery, I took this battery, installed it in the coffee trailer. That should do it. And voila! And we are charging. Alright, here we are in the dark. 104 amp hours. Excellent. The capacity was pretty darn good. 104 amp hours is about the best you're going to expect out of Class A cells in a battery, in a rack mount battery. It's about right. That's what makes these things so stable. Nice solid metal case. You can mount them in a rack. 5, 6 of them together. You end up with about 30 kilowatt hours. It's a pretty good deal. These are no exception. Talk about all the stuff that comes with the battery so you understand what you're going to get. So one of the first things that you're going to see is going to be this little packet here. It's actually some pretty cool little stickers. These probably look like little bumper stickers, little stickers that go here, little stickers that go there. So we'll find a place to put a couple of these because that ear supports me. I'm going to support them. All right. Next in this kit, you're also going to find a user manual. A remarkably nice user manual, actually. Comes with a lot of different charts, shows you dipset settings, all kinds of different pictures, in complete color, nice big full print color. In addition to that, you have a warranty card. All right, let's talk a little bit about the specs. It is a standard rack mount battery at 51.2 volts, 100 amp hours. With 100 amp hours, you can run 16 in series. They rate 5,120 watts. Maximum cutoff voltage is 58.4. Discharge cutoff voltage is 40 volts. Standard charge current is between 20 and 50 amps. Maximum charge current is 100 amps. Standard discharge current is 100 amps. Operating temperature is between 0 and 55 Celsius. Discharge is between -20 and 60 degrees Celsius. And then storage is between 0 and 45 degrees Celsius. Maximum operating altitude is less than 2 meters. Self-discharges rate is about 3% per month. This means that you don't want to leave it sitting around for months and months and months. It will discharge, and if it goes down too far, it can cause it some serious damage. If you're going to store it, charge it up every couple of months. Communication does have the RS485, the CAN ports, RS282. It's got Bluetooth, which is nice, and I'll show you the app here in a little bit. And then let's talk about some of the extra accessories that come with it. It does come with some protective covers for the battery terminals, which are nice, especially if you want to cover these up and you don't want these to stay exposed. It does have a couple of different wires included with it, and we'll go through some of them. In addition to the bolts, it does have two, looks like maybe 1 gauge wires to allow you to connect one battery to the next, which is pretty nice. They're long enough and they're flexible enough to actually do with it. I do like the protective coating on them also, which is pretty nice. And then you have the standard grounding wire that allows you to connect grounds, a communication cable that allows you to connect from battery to battery, and then there's a little Bluetooth antenna that's included in here. And this just screws on here to extend the Bluetooth distance. Kind of nice. I'll leave this connected. That way I can get it connected through my Home Assistant also. And I use the app to connect to it. The app seems to be pretty reliable, so you'll like that. There are a couple of little bags of screws in addition to a few more additional screws for these. You additionally have a couple of metal plates with little screws here that allow you to mount the brackets on the side in case you wanted to put this into a rack and screw it down. Let's talk a little bit about the actual construction of the front of the battery here. As you can see, we've got the 2 negative terminals on this side, 2 positive terminals on this side, the display screen in the middle. The display screen is a touch screen and allows you to switch between different cells. It allows you to go into the configuration and see what is actually configured. It's in English. It has an ultra, a light, and a dark mode. And then it also has a password configuration, it looks like, which is probably just to lock out people and keep you from somebody doing some monkey business on you. We already spoke a little bit about the Bluetooth antenna, and we have a 125 amp breaker attached to it to turn the battery off and on. The off-on switch is here, whether it's running, whether it has any alarms going on, a reset switch, the standard dip switches that allow you to configure up to 16. I'm a little bit surprised that they've stuck with 16 here, as a lot of these batteries are now going into larger numbers of parallel batteries, but 16 is still over 80 kilowatt hours, so it's still pretty decent. You do have a 6-light measurement here to show you percentage of charge without really opening the battery. And as you can see, we've got 4 of them on. And if I light up the screen here, 4 of them is at 64%. What would be used to connect the different batteries. I like the fact that they labeled these, instead of 1 and 2, they labeled these out and in. You look down here on the EG4, they just labeled this RS485. And you have to actually know that the one on the right is out and the one on the left is in, so that this one can run to that one. On this one, they've labeled them that way, making it a little easier to ensure that you don't have to do the guesswork to plug one out of this one and into that one. You can just run them one right after another without thinking about it and not having to remember it's done that way. Obviously, you have a hole here for the grounding screw, and you have screws on the side to mount the mounting plates. Now I'm going to go in and do a little bit of the inverter communications. It was quite easy. I plugged the inverter into the CAN port with a communication wire and set the 6000 XP to battery type 2, and boom, everything started communicating and it all worked just fine. Didn't really have any problems, didn't have any configuration issues, it just worked. So that was kind of pleasant. I installed this battery into the coffee trailer in order to just do some tests and stuff. So I ran it out there every day for a couple of days, allowed it to run different devices and stuff, and it performed very, very well. I didn't see any problems with any type of draw on it. I didn't see any voltage drops or anything like that. It just basically did exactly what it was supposed to do. Now, I haven't done any long-term test on the state of charge reading that shows up here on the screen, but the little test that I did run, it did perform. It looked like it was performing pretty good. Sometimes that can be deceiving when you're just running it on a single battery. It looks like it's working really well, but then you get it into a bank of batteries and it doesn't perform near as well. I'll let you know long-term what it does, but from the test that I ran and from the charge and discharge of a couple of times over the period of a few days, it performed really well. I didn't see any major differences in the actual charge and the state of charge that was listed on the screen here. Now, what kind of surprised me is the Bluetooth worked really well.
Look at installing the app, seeing how easy this is. Now, I have never used this app before, and I have not installed it before, so I'm just going to take my iPad here, and we're going to look for the app, Vatrer. There it is, Vatrer battery, and we're going to say install. All right, now it's going to install, and let's just open it. All right, so here we are. We'll just tell it to allow the location, no big deal. And the battery pops right up on the screen, which is great. I'm just going to hit on. It said success. Don't know what that means because nothing happened afterwards. And we'll click the on button. It says successful. Oh, that's easy. And we'll come over here and we're connected. We have the single battery. If there were more batteries, you'd see them down there at the bottom with the series and parallel. That's nice and easy. You can take a look at each of the cells. And that's about it. The only thing I did notice is that after I hit on the Bluetooth screen, after I hit connect the first time, I did have to reboot the app. I don't know if that was a fluke or whatnot, but either way, it seems to work just fine. It was pretty straightforward, no special login crapple or anything like that. It just worked.
I do see that it says it supports Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's the model that I have that don't support it or if I just don't understand what I'm doing. I didn't look real hard. I'm not a real big fan of Wi-Fi and a battery, but if I do figure out that it works, I'll put a comment down below and send you guys out another video. Everything else worked great. The communications with the inverter worked just fine. Very simple to configure. And obviously the touch screen works really well. It's very simple. It's active, nice and colorful, and it's got 3 different modes of coloring to set up that seem to be to adjust it pretty well. No problems there. Price value is pretty darn good. This one ranks it'll be very interesting to see the comparison between this battery and the Life Power 4 and the Wiring battery in a later video to see what's going on there and how they match up side by side. Independently, right at about $919, this battery was the current price when I was doing it. I'll include any coupons or anything I have down below and a link if you're interested in buying it. Overall, I love the handles on this battery. The construction type of the way the screws are held on, the case is put together is excellent. I love the black case, and the artwork is really nice. The cables that come with it are solid, large enough to support a bank of batteries, not just a single one. And I like the nice touch on the caps here to cover them up for those of us who don't have anything other than just this type of a rack where they're open. This allows me to cover up those terminals and make them nice and safe. I wasn't too thrilled with the Wi-Fi piece of it. I wasn't able to just intuitively understand how to configure it. I did notice that on the only other battery that I've seen that's had Wi-Fi was an EcoWorthy, and it was pretty straightforward where I configured the Wi-Fi. I also configured the Bluetooth. This one I did not see it in the app, and it could just be that this battery doesn't support it. I don't know the answer to that yet. The documentation was darn good, so I'm not going to worry about that. The terminal layouts are fantastic, and the communication setup was easy, and all of the cables that came with it are really good. They've done a nice job with it. Where does this battery fit in for you? Well, this battery would be excellent for whole home backups if you're looking to order to start off small. You want to start off with even up to one and grow up to quite a few here. With the communications, you can grow up to 16 of them. Vatr's batteries are known for good, solid builds. I did not do a teardown of this battery simply because all of the reviews that I've seen are very solid, and this battery is well built on the inside and very impressive. So I'm not going to worry about the inside. I'm going to do some more testing over the next couple of months, give you guys a side-by-side comparison between this one, the Life Power 4, and the wire-in battery, and see which one of them comes out on top. Who's this battery good for? Anyone who's looking for a good 48-volt rack mount battery. This battery is serious competition. It performs well. It's got all of the right features. It's got all the right functionality that you need. This is a rack mount battery. If you're going with wall mount batteries and stuff, rack mount batteries do require, a little bit more space. They do require a rack. You stack them up. You do get 30 kilowatt hours in a stack of 6, but they do take a little bit more space than something like a Walmart battery, and they do take a little bit more cable management and wire management. So if you're interested in just one big battery, this probably isn't the right choice for you. But if you're interested in something that's flexible and grows towards the future, this is definitely the choice for you. And it's easy to say that Vatrer truly delivered exactly what they promised. 100 amp hour battery that puts out 105 amp hours of power. I couldn't find anything in this battery that didn't perform according to the specs. The charge, the discharge, all of it worked rather well. The build is good. The look is good. The terminals are well placed. I like the screen. The biggest strengths to this battery are its price. It has a great price for what its performance is and the features that it has available. Now don't forget, make sure you subscribe, because here in the next couple of weeks, after I've done some extensive testing with these batteries sitting side by side, we are going to take this Vatrer battery, this Life Power 4 batteries, and these wire batteries, and we're going to do a head-to-head comparison on them. At that point, we'll find out who's got the best features, who's got the best prices, and who's got the best warranties on the market. Talk to you then. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and follow, and we'll see you on the next video.